It's Eli, and this is to be my 19/20 month on T video. I didn't get a chance to upload a video last month. Sorry about that, guys. And to my other bloggers. But yeah, sorry about that. I've been in the process of moving. I moved out like the end of February with my fiance into an apartment in downtown Phoenixville, and that's been working out really well. Any of the problems that we've had with our roommate, our old roommate anyway, that's pretty much gone away. So that's good. We don't have that like issue in our environment anymore, which is nice. We got a kitten, and her name is Quinn. Um, we got her like I don't know, a couple weeks after we ended up moving in. Um, but yeah, like it's really exciting. We have a little baby, a little fur baby, and she's a calico. So she's like really really cute. She's really needy though. Like it's like the apartment's kind of small, so there's not really like much give and take space for a lot of things to happen. It's about the same size. It's about a little bit bigger than our room was at our apartment. Well, at our room in Mark's house. But it's good for a kitten, and she has somewhere to perch, and we have somewhere for her to eat, and where she can have her litter box and stuff. Other than that, everything's been pretty decent. We've just been, like any normal couple where one of them's unemployed and the other's on SSI is having some trouble economically, but it's not. I mean, it's been pretty comfortable, but like you'd be surprised the limits that you can press when you live on your own, I guess. That's something that my younger viewers will have to deal with when they get older. But as being almost 26 years old, like I've been out on my own, like almost, this will be my fourth time, I think, being on my own. But it's tough sometimes because, especially when you're living with like one other person in a small apartment like ours, like it's really pretty much made for just one person, and we're pushing the limits by it being me and Kat. But I mean, we get irritated with each other for spatial reasons and stuff, and like sometimes we have the normal couple boundary issues, and like you can't always depend on a steady social life to keep you occupied all the time. It's one thing I've learned is that like people aren't just gonna come over all the time and stuff like that. So I decided that I found a library that I forgot about that's actually in Phoenixville that we can like walk to, which in a measurable distance from our apartment, and I think we're gonna get membership cards for the library and end up like utilizing that tool. It's also nice to go to a library and have somewhere to kind of go. And there's this path like right near where you hit like High and Main and Bridge Street in Phoenixville. But there's this path, and we don't know where it goes yet. But it's like a walking path, so we're gonna adventure and see where that goes eventually. But I told Kat that like if we have a steady schedule where like like we're gonna start going to church like every day except Tuesday, or every day except Monday, I guess, and Sunday, because Sunday's like brutally early. But because we get up really early in the morning, and then like we end up being bored by like 9 in the morning, and so that's pretty much what's on my plate right now, is just like navigating through living with another person and learning how to have your own space. And I mean, I've only lived with somebody that I've been romantically involved with before once, so this is really kind of a learning give and take kind of thing. And Kat has a lot of shit that she needs to take care of with like therapy appointments and like shit like that. So like I'm just trying to navigate my way and still looking for a job, so that I can fiscally be a little bit more responsible for us too. Because there starts to be resentment when like she brings in all the money and is paying rent and stuff like that, and like I can't bring anything to the table right now because I'm not employed. But I mean, I do what I can, and like my parents help us out a lot. Like I mean, my parents help us out more than most parents would help their kids out after their kids declare to be like not living with them anymore. Um, but yeah. So everything's going pretty decently. My transition's going really well. I was without tea for like 2 weeks because I forgot to call my script in to the Walgreens downtown. But I didn't have a chance to get it for like 2 weeks, and it didn't bother me. I missed 2 injections, but I don't like in the grand scheme of things, it's not like that big of a deal. So I was fine. But I had some minor mood issues due to it. But other than that, the facial hairs really coming in. I mean, you can't see it too much through the camera. It doesn't really give it justice, but it's coming in there. I mean, like kind of barely see it. I'm not trying to show everybody, all my business, but I just figured it'd be neat to show. My hair is purple, if you can tell. It's like a purplish black. I wanted it to be kind of subtle, but it apparently isn't that subtle. So, but that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys all have a great day and a great next month until I update you again. And if you guys don't already know, I have a blog and Kat moderates it as well. It's called transspeakup.tumblr.com, and it's a trans blog, and it's basically well, it's something that my friends and I all collaborated and put together, and we still continue to. It's when we talk about different things about trans rights or anything recent, or but it's a really neat portal for trans youth. So all of you youngins that are watching my video here that are like under 18 and people that have asked me for advice and stuff about transitioning and tea and everything, like the best place I can take you to right now is my blog or my blog on YouTube, which is right here. Other than that, there's one other issue I wanted to talk about too, because my fiance is in the midst of her transition, and it's really something that really bothers me, and that she's been thinking of doing too, is taking hormone supplements before you see a physician about your transition. And I really, really disagree with that. Somebody that I fought for a couple months to get on that waiting list at Mazzoni to become a patient and to get my blood taken and everything like that in order to be able to get my testosterone and all of the psychiatric and psychological things that also are altered by hormones, because people don't realize that if you start hormones, like, oh, you start T, everything's going to automatically be better. Oh, you start estrogen, everything's going to automatically be better. It doesn't work like that. Testosterone to me was like any other medication that I've ever taken, except it affected me a little differently. I felt a little bit more comfortable a lot quicker. Little things like that. But I've always had higher testosterone in my system. So, not saying that, if you want to go through your transition and you don't want to deal with a doctor or anything like that, and you want a minor transition, then, I mean, by all means, like, you do what you want. But I highly suggest somebody that's been seen by a clinical physician. Like, my doctor has taken very good care of me, and it was worth the wait, in my opinion, because now I have somebody that oversees my transition and oversees, how much tea I'm doing. And my big issue with my fiance was that I don't want her taking all of these supplements when she has like physical issues too, because you don't know how it's going to affect your body. And the reason why a doctor oversees your transition generally is to make sure that when you put those hormones in your body, if it's going to counteract with you somehow, how they can treat it, or things that you can do to make sure it doesn't happen. Like when I first started tea, I needed to be put on like a water pill, like a blood pressure medicine, because the lithium that I was on and the testosterone injections was making my blood pressure like really high. Plus, I was really stressed out because when I first started tea, I think I was just coming back to my parents and stuff. So it was stressful having to like kind of hide my transition, I guess, for like a year. Not the transition, but the actual like doing injections and stuff. Like my parents were really uncomfortable with that. So, but if it's one thing I can highly suggest is don't do it, on your own, or just because, an online guide says that the estrogen is really good, or because you don't know how it's going to affect you personally. And most things on hormones are irreversible, so please be responsible about it. It's like you're playing God with your own body. And, I would really, like, honestly, like, seeing it from my point of view, and if I was seeing somebody that I really cared about, like I'm seeing right now, wanting to do that, it really bothers me, because I'm very happy that I did the testosterone thing the way I wanted with a doctor and stuff, because I would have just taken supplements, I wouldn't have known that it would have, made my blood pressure real high. I could have had a problem there. And for people with more serious illnesses, like, it's not something to play with. Hormones have affected all different kinds of my physicality, my my psyche, and my mental stability, has fluctuated due to me being on hormones. So it's not something I would wish upon a lot of people. And tea, helps people and doesn't help people in certain different ways. Everyone's different. Same with estrogen. I just wouldn't suggest it. Point being, by yourself. I wouldn't be my own doctor. I would rather have somebody that is educated and certified in what I'm doing to oversee it, because to me it just seems more responsible. I mean, I'm almost 26 years old, so on that note, it's very much of a parental kind of thing. But, I don't know. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me, but that's my feeling about it. So, all right, well, I didn't mean to elongate this, but all right, guys, well, peace out and have a good weekend.